I'm going to go this big government liberal way and see if I can pander to them to get them to come on board with me. And it didn't work out for him. And here you are.
It absolutely did not work out for him. Look, Adam Kinzinger is a career politician whose career is obviously over now. Over the last few months since we launched the campaign against him, we raised nearly $1 million. We had people from every part of the district on both sides of the aisle that were so sick of this guy. And ultimately, his whole MO on the campaign during this time that he was going against former President Trump and cowering to all the Democrats was all about leadership and how brave he was to go against Republican values. And he was on MSNBC, on CNN, constantly bashing the Republican Party and ultimately supporting the Biden administration and lying, absolutely. But at the first sign of a challenge and adversity, for somebody who spoke a lot about leadership, he cowered pretty quickly. So we're very excited now to be continuing on the campaign. And finally, America has rid itself of a RINO, somebody who does not deserve to be there, a career politician, and he's just one of many. But Illinoisans are certainly happy to see he's retiring now.
Yeah, it's interesting, though, because this is like a litmus test nationwide. I think people are wising up. Like, there's a give or take 0% chance that the Democrats keep the House. So when you go out and talk to people, obviously, like, set the primary aside, that is now not a primary anymore because he's out of the race. But what do people say to you in reference to, like, hey, I voted for Kinzinger? Like, I knew the guy. I thought he was a decent guy 4 or 5 years ago. But what are they saying to you about this RINO movement that is anti-Trump, anti-freedom, anti-MAGA, anti-anything about standing up for conservative principles?
What career politicians always fail to recognize after they've been in the swamp for far too long is that the average American person is pretty discerning. So they can see through the lies, the phoniness. Somebody like Adam, who was constantly, again, going on MSNBC and CNN, clearly just pushing his own agenda for whatever reason he wanted to, probably a job after Congress. And, people recognize that on both sides of the aisle. And I believe that we're truly in a movement where people are so sick of the buttoned up career politicians that sit there, forget who they are, and then they come back to their districts and wonder why people don't support them. But it's because they've completely gone off the reservation. They don't even talk like you and I do, average Americans, half the time. They're certainly not present in their districts. And it's so time for everyday servant leadership, authenticity to be put back into Washington, and ultimately people who want to be a true voice for people in their districts and who understand the kitchen table issues of their districts. Adam Kinzinger fundamentally didn't understand that here in the 16th.
Well, and that's the problem is they want Republicans who are going to stand up and fight. Now, we have some people that are actually doing this socially. Dave Chappelle, I want you to listen to this.
I am not bending to anybody's demands.
Real quick, I got about 20 seconds left. What do you think about the new social aspect of these pop stars standing up?
I think it's great, especially when it comes to defending individual liberty and ultimately our economic system. We're in the culture war and the progressives are taking over our country. It's time that people band together. We preserve what we have here in our country. That means preserving our free enterprise system and ultimately preserving, most importantly, our individual liberties.
Yeah. Catalina Lauf, hopefully next Congresswoman from Illinois. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.